somebody's not holding the line, when somebody's a quitter. When you come to consider it, a quitter is always a selfish man. It's selfishness that makes a man a coward or a deserter. If he's in a dangerous place and runs away, all he's doing is thinking of himself. And he goes on to say here, I've been supposed to have been talking about...
What's up, Dirty Cones? So this is the 8th attempt at this, maybe 7th attempt at this video, and the first two were kind of angry, some good rant, and the third one got cut off. I thought it was actually going pretty good. The fourth one, I think I got like 5 seconds into it and was like, Fifth one, I got a minute 50 into it, was doing all right, and then arrived at my destination. So that was no good. Sixth one, went angry again because I couldn't get it right. And here's the 7th one. So I get questions from you guys periodically. And I want to start a movement where we only vote for the 2 dudes that are running for vice president, and whichever one of them wins, it doesn't matter, because they both seem the same to me. They both got Marines for sons, and so either one would be okay with me. So we vote for nobody, no president, but we vote for the 2 vice presidents, and then peace will find a way. I think that is an acceptable standard for democracy. It's my new movement. We'll call it progressive politics. We're just cutting off the head and going with, hey, these 2 don't seem too bad. But anyway, so hey, pararescue doesn't really see combat, do they? Or my friend said that PJs don't get into combat, and it's funny that you should say it this week, the anniversary of the Battle of Mogadishu, being that Sergeant Scary Gordon and Randy Shugart, what they did when they got off those helicopters. I remember my father telling me, at dinner time we're watching the news and we're discussing it, and he tells me about these 2 guys, what they did, and how they knew that when they were getting off the helicopter, that was it. It was a one-way trip. They were the Doolittle Raiders. I mean, that was it. And I just remember thinking that was the most awesome for your brother. Like, if I gotta go, that's the way I want to go. I don't want to go because I like living, but if that's the way you gotta go, that's it, and that's brotherhood. That's not quitting. That is, the epitome. And those 2 men had a great influence on my life. An operator named M.E., who was my boss at one point. I remember him, very angry at me, but what he saw on my MySpace about when it said heroes and I had their 2 names, he said, well, I guess it can't be that bad. So, but that's why I was raised on that, and then, my dad told me about PJs, and Tim Wilkinson, and then, I got to meet Tim Wilkinson, everybody gets to meet him, but most PJs, there's not too many of them, so getting to meet him, I was like, dude, you're Tim Wilkinson, wow, I grew up looking up to him and saying, man, that's awesome, running across the alley like that. That was what inspired me and what helped me. And so when people say, PJs don't do Ruiz, Air Force Cross, saved 4 ODA guys. I mean, it's not predominantly what pararescue does, but if you want to do that, you can get to those units that do that. It's not impossible or improbable. So when people, tell that to John Brown's widow, super duper cool lady. He was a super duper cool dude. Don't dishonor those guys. Ask the question, but be polite about it. Be respectful. Maybe text messages, they're hard to read sometimes. Intonation. And so when I read these questions about pararescue that you guys are like, well, you guys don't see combat. I've been to 16 funerals that say otherwise. So please be respectful, of all people. And so it was delivered much better than the other times. There's like, what the dude, So just remember, life is valuable, and that's what pararescue is all about. We're there in all situations, peacetime, non-peacetime. And even if they end up not going, the dudes that sign up for that and say, hey, I will do that. So, alright. And then, somebody asked me a question about who is the one person for why you are a PJ. And I read into the question, so this is where intonation gets me. And I said something about it takes a village, meaning my parents, the way they raised me, my school teachers, my friends' parents who let me live on their couch, or took me in, or spent time with me, rented a room out to me, and told me things that, we didn't, never went between my parents and I, but I'm sure that this is what my parents probably would have told me, but I listened to them, loved them to death, so I'm thinking about all these people throughout my life. I didn't go to, like, okay, so if you hinge at the one moment that my life could have went boom, no pararescue when I was hurt and got the 3 setbacks. There was one man who was being retired PJ, didn't get to do the job anymore, was no longer wearing the hat, and taught me many, many things, because I was like, dude, they took away your hat. That's a crime. That's wrong. I should never do that. And he says to me, a man in his lifetime wears many hats. He's a father. He's a son. He's brother. He's all these things. He's plumber, carpenter. He's whatever. It's whatever it is. He wears many hats. He's prepared for all things and all reasons. And so, for him, for what he did for me, speaking to people and helping out and keeping me safe so I could heal, because I was beat up. If not for him, I wouldn't be a PJ. So, he's still out there. He's teaching now down in Miami. He knows everything. Like, he taught me everything I know. So, he's like the Godfather. And I think I've talked about the first time we met. And he looks at my name tape and says, Mahoney, is that Irish? We go, sorry. What's your first name? Michael? And he looks at me, what's your middle initial? Or what's your, and like P. He's like, oh. He's like, Patrick? I said, Hooyah, sir. And he says, J. Joseph. And I was in love with that man. Bam! Right there. I don't think he knows it. and he's gonna be like, dude, you're so gay. But it's okay, because I have learned to love people. I've talked about this before. Those people that really help you out, they don't have to. You know, why would a master sergeant help a young airman other than they have almost the same exact name? That's, I don't know. Some people might say ridiculous, but it's not. It's an awesome thing that connection between he and I saved me, or made me, or whatever you want to say. And so, if you look at my Instagram and everything, I spell my last name with an H, Mahoney, which is close to the original spelling. So it's a little history for you guys. All the Mahoneys, Maroneys, Maloney's all come from the same part of Ireland, and our original last name was O'Mahony, and the O'Mahony was started with the third daughter of Brian Boru, who was the only recognized king of England, or king of Ireland. We should have been king of England. We should have invaded them and took over instead of letting them come over and take us over. But we won't get into politics. So the only recognized king of Ireland, his daughter was the first O'Mahony, and sent it all down. And then we all came to Boston because we heard there was good beer. And then we migrated to, we eventually made it to California. We won't talk about the in-betweens, but and such close names, you know. I would say my first mentor, and if not I'm very sure it was my first mentor, because I couldn't even spell mentor up until I got into the Air Force. My first military mentor, who taught me about taking care of people and being polite and smiling and saying, yeah, it sucks, but whatever, you know. He taught me just let it go, just keep on going. And there are funny things that he told me, and he used to tell me, we don't trust the red hats, which are combat controllers. And so your purebred pararescue, I mean, like, these guys are old school, you know, they still refer to them as red hats, you know. And it used to make me, anytime I said combat control, he used to make me do that. And that's how I was raised as a young pup, was to hate the red hats, because you couldn't trust them, because they just wanted you to carry their batteries. And but eventually I met some red hats, and I fell in love with them too, and they were just as good at people. And I couldn't understand the hatred, but it goes back a long way. And so I was like, nope, can't we all just get along? And I love some controllers. So yeah, but MJM is my everything. He put me on the path and said, hey, this is what you do, this is how you treat people. I think I knew, but I didn't think coming into the military that there'd be a lot of surfers. I thought I'd be an anomaly. So when I found other people that were like-minded, I'm like, oh, okay, we're not all brainwashed, it's okay. And especially in pararescue, I mean, it is what you make of it. And by doing the right thing and treating people right and taking care of people, that's how we perpetuate the beauty of pararescue. You know, be prepared, do your best, and by doing your best, you are doing 110% of what you can do. There is no try, there is only do or do not. That's it. Man. So I think I have a little bit of a cold going on, because yesterday was opening day at Inland Surf Park, and it was amazing. The waves were beautiful, the people were beautiful, the sky, the clouds. It got a little bit cold at the end, so If you're coming, bring a wetsuit, maybe some booties. It's not that cold, but the floor can be a little slick, so booties are good. And then 9 glorious hours in the waves. And it's funny because the salt water is everything to me. I miss the ocean, but it's an acceptable, very, very fun, happily soul-inspiring, beautiful wave. It just... So, I highly encourage you, if you get a chance to go. It's awesome. So, I think I covered what I wanted to cover. I think I'm glad it took me 7 tries. Just because it was very important and it needed to be said. And I didn't know how to say it, so I just had to wait for it to happen. And if you listen to Jocko, the man he's a priest of heroism. He's the John the Baptist of bringing you what it is that you need. He's Jesus, right? I say that in a very loving, kind way, but he's got a good message that everybody needs to listen to, and his story is good, and his heart is pure, and I really... He touches my heart. Like, he says the right things, and he helps with answers. So, listen to Jocko. I'd like to thank everybody who ever helped me. There are a lot. We could go on for hours. But specifically, Mr. Mahoney, because it rhymes with Maroney. And I don't know, just work hard, do your best. And like I said, doing your best is doing everything, and you will make it. Train like you're gonna die, and since you're not gonna quit, and we're not gonna let you die, you have no other option but to pass. That's it. Because you are in a religion of teamwork and heroism, and there's nothing more to say. That's it. There's your answer. Forward always, always forward. Forward ever, backward never. Bam! Achieve your goal or lose it all. That's how important it is. So, thanks for listening, and I will chat with you guys later. Hooyah.